and he came after our little 2-year-old and almost got her in the eye. So we had to get rid of him. To rooster or not to rooster? That is the question. Roosters are one of the most controversial topics in the comment section of my YouTube videos. Some people love them, some people hate them. Today I want to go over some of the reasons why you might want to have one, some of the reasons you might not want to have one. There's basically a plus and a minus for each aspect of having a rooster. For instance, the noise. If you're in an HOA or the city, probably you're not even allowed to have a rooster because of the noise. So check there first, and then your question's done if you can't have a rooster legally. Some people love the noise of a rooster. My wife loves it. She thinks roosters are great. She loves having one. I, on the other hand, I'm kind of annoyed that I get woken up at 5 a.m. to the call of a rooster. So that's the first thing. Do you like the sound of a rooster waking you up in the morning? If you don't get them. They all crow in the morning. Some crow more than others, some less than others. Before you get a rooster, you may also want to ask your neighbors. If they don't like roosters, you're going to have problems with your neighbors and it may not be worth it. So consider your neighbors, maybe go and knock on their door and say, hey, would you mind having a rooster if I had a rooster? If they say no, go for it. Chickens are loving the grass. Maybe I'll give them a minute just to eat some of this grass. There you go. Go ahead. Yeah. Another thing to consider is how they interact with the hens. So if you have too many roosters and not enough hens, they can become overly aggressive and actually kind of hurt the hens. So you got to get your numbers right. About 10 to 1 is what I hear is about right. But I think the more hens per rooster, the better. So that's kind of the negative side of how they interact with the hens, but most of it is positive. So one of the things that the roosters will do is keep the hens close. And that helps protect against predators. Also, when I bring out table scraps, they'll call, shh, Duke, I'm trying to record a video about you. When there's the scraps come out, he'll call the other hens and let them know, hey, there's new food, come and get it. He has a special call. It's kind of like a guttural clucking sound. It's really cool. And that's a great aspect of having a rooster is he makes sure that they're taken care of. So he'll keep them close, and actually he'll help train them to the normal routines of the hens. So when we got the new hens from a friend of ours, we got, I don't know, maybe I think it was 9 Australorps and a few little silkies and things like that. And we introduced them. He immediately went right over to them and was actually pretty friendly to them, whereas the other hens were really standoffish and a little bit pecky. So yeah, it really helps to have a rooster around to help integrate new hens into an old flock. Yeah, so what's kind of cool is if you get new hens and they don't know how yet to go into the coop, or they don't really know the normal routines of where the feed is and where the safe spots are, the rooster will actually kind of start to show them around and incorporate them into the flock a lot better. Pecking order is a big deal with the hens, and they have to sort that out, but a rooster really helps keep that calm. He keeps the fighting from happening. He'll be dominant over the really aggressive hens and help the younger, smaller hens find their place without getting hurt. So you can see I'm somewhat of a threat to the hens, right? The hens don't really see that, but the rooster does, and he'll crow. When I come out here, he'll crow and crow and crow and crow. But when I'm not out here, he's really quiet. So it's just the temperament of each rooster is different, but if they feel safe, he'll usually stay kind of quiet. But you can see he is on high alert because I'm out here. And he'll keep them all close. He'll call them in and say, hey, there's danger around. Stay close, stay under brush, stay underneath the coop, that kind of thing. And he's really, really on alert. You see the rest of the hens, they're just kind of chilling, hanging out, going up and down, but he is on high alert. So that's another aspect of keeping roosters, is their protective side. Now, that can be, again, a positive and a negative. On the positive side, they're going to keep an eye out for, stray dogs like we've had, and predators from the air like hawks and smaller animals that might be a problem. On the negative side, that might mean children or even you. Sometimes roosters can be so aggressive, they'll come right after you and try and get you with their spurs, which are the little sharp part on the back of their feet. So you have to be really careful. And that's really just the temperament of the rooster. Some are very docile, some are very aggressive, and you don't know until they get older. There's things you can do to mitigate that, like spending time with them when they're young, but really it has a lot to do with just their temperament. What we what we found was our first rooster was really, really aggressive, and he came after our little 2-year-old and almost got her in the eye. So we had to get rid of him. But then we got this bantam rooster from a friend, and it's smaller, it's not as aggressive. It's actually really pretty sweet rooster. So he does a good job of alerting the hens when there's danger and keeping them around and doing all those things. But he's really very good with the kids and with the adults. So one other aspect of keeping roosters is that they're just a lot more interesting. They make the flock a lot more interesting. Yeah, chick, 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 chick. Yeah, they know I'm bringing them scraps. We got some leftover pancake dough and pancakes. See if he'll make that clucking sound. Yeah, chick, 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 chick. I always have a call for him so they know. There you go. Go to town. See, he's like, he's leading, he's calling them all out. They're all super eager to get it. He's just as slow, keeping an eye on things, walking the circumference. They're grabbing what they can and they run off with it and try and keep it from the other hens. But hear that noise he's making? If you're thinking in terms of like pets and just interest in having a flock and that kind of thing, then a rooster is almost a must-have. They're just more beautiful. Their feathers are bigger and more colorful than the hens. And the interactions that they have with the hens is so much more interesting. The hens, when they're by themselves, they tend to just kind of pick on each other and have these little fights. And the rooster, I don't know how to describe it, but he makes it so much more interesting to sit and watch them.